One thing I am really impressed by in From Software's Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is its presentation of war. The game is set in a period of Japan plagued by constant conflict, and everywhere is the mark of battle. Of course, there are the proud warriors who defend their nation and the invading forces against them, but also thieves seeking bounty amidst the chaos, reluctant but dutiful soldiers, and even the unfortunate innocents caught in the blaze of battle. The music of the game plays an integral role in conveying these different elements of war. It serves to expand upon the traits and details already known from the character dialogue and story, fleshing out and differentiating them in interesting ways. Now, here's an obvious example. Outside the gates of Ashina Castle, on a quiet battlefield, you face off against this samurai dude on a horse. What was his name again? Hold on, I have my script right here.
My name is Kyobu Masataka Oniwa!
Oh yeah, that was his name. How could I forget? So the first minute or so of this piece isn't too intense and is mostly defined by this constant triplet of marcato bass strings, which pairs well with the elegant circling movements of him and his horse. But then we get this one section of an ascending melody on brass, kicked off by this beautiful shinobue, a type of Japanese flute. Well, let's take a closer look at this section. There are these loud harmonies that outline a 1-4-1-4 progression, with the fourth chords being diminished on the seventh note, a note that we're in C minor here. There are a few more similar chords, and then a forceful transition into G minor. Now, the style we saw in the last two measures is reflected here. Rather than sticking to the key, the harmony becomes a series of these raw and powerful chords that hover about the G tonic we established. Also, the timing of the chord changes is syncopated with the triplet percussion still in the bass, which sounds really good too. Once we've knocked out one of his death blow markers, the piece picks up and we have a couple new melodies that feature similar progressions to the ones from earlier, accompanied by this hilly melody again on brass instruments. For example, this one here. In both this phrase and the last ones, there's this constancy in the pacing and a cleanness to how the chord changes align with the measure boundaries and the pickup notes. This constant rhythm with those loud brasses and choirs conveys the determination and unwavering pride of Kyobu Oniwa, a samurai ready to die for his nation and his leader. But the well-defined harmony, especially this seventh chord right here, and the occasional shinobue that grace our presence, hearken to the elegance of his skill in battle and on horseback. While war may be a horrible machine, the warriors who masters his art can exhibit a beauty comparable to nothing else. But no beauty or elegance can excuse the destruction wrought by those proponents of war, and Genichiro Ashina is the most notorious example of this case. His goals and the actions he takes to achieve them bring terrible doom to himself and others, and the war he wages is one of immense hatred and pride. We encounter Genichiro several times on our journey, and he serves as a rival and foil to Sekiro. While we fight to protect our master and obey the shinobi code, he fights to protect his country and upholds the honor of a samurai. A common motif in Genichiro's battle theme is this ascending melody that is presented in differing rhythms. Like with Gyobu Oniwa, the slow rise and fall of the melody, the heavy use of brass, and clear chordal changes suggest the strength and fearlessness of a warrior. But there is something off in this phrase. You can hear it near the end of the ascending leg. Right there. The accidental here, just a half step below the tonic, sounds off. And now, raising the seventh in a minor key is a common technique for giving that extra bit of tension right before a return to the tonic. But in this case, because the tonic is already present in this chord, and because it is held for 2 whole beats, it creates a dissonance that just sounds ominous. We can hear another accidental in the next presentation of the motif, and now aligned to dotted quarter notes. Following along with this motif is difficult because of the uneven number of measures per each repetition and the changing in the time for each note. The placement of the accidentals, the unpredictability in rhythm, and the tension they both add to the music, I feel convey the danger Genichiro presents, and not just to us, but to other characters in the game, and to Ashina as a whole. His desire for war and the pride in his country are tainted by an evil ambition conveyed through these sparse but effective musical ideas. But ambition and avarice are not the only products of war. Hatred and malcontent are also its children, as we see in the battle theme of the Demon of Hatred. The music here starts off in a haunting stupor of choir, percussion, and strings. This conveys well the situation we are in. What is this thing? What is it even doing here? Oh great, I'm dead. A little bit later in the piece, we get this notable melody here. And notice how the cellos outline this sluggish bass section, whereas violas detail a chromatic melody whose stumbling asymmetrical rhythm sounds almost playfully mocking. The heavy use of accidentals push this whole section into atonality, which suits the otherworldliness of this foe. And the 6/8 time signature, kept up by the powerful drum percussion in the bass, really conveys the jerking movements and fiery attacks of the demon as he dances about you. Genichiro and Gyobu Oniwa did battle for the sake of their country, but here, the atonality and playful dissonance suggests that the demon instead kills out of contempt and rancor. Interestingly, moving to the next phase of the battle, the piece becomes more tame from a tonal perspective. Bass strings and brass now outline clearer minor progressions. The percussion lightens up a bit, and the melody slows off some of those harsh accidentals. Oh, check this part out. The Shinobue, repeating the theme from the first section in a calmer manner, has this wistfulness to it. And the dramatic progressions in the sections that follow convey sadness rather than anger, and perhaps regret or loss, more specifically. And now the fight doesn't get any easier for sure, but the gentler nature of the music suggests a more melancholy aspect to the demon. The range of emotions expressed by this piece is incredible, from hatred and malice to wistfulness and regret. Of course, war can be started for reasons of pride, culture, and economy, but its outcome and its effects on the people involved is often closer to what the demon of hatred and its music represents.